What's going on, EV fam? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Today we have Officer Brandon Tatum absolutely destroying the ideology of victimhood to a black liberal college student. This one is going to be funny. This one's going to be amazing. And honestly, I really think it's going to be insightful and very educational. But there might be some funny moments as well because, these liberals are just elevator don't go all the way to the top. The lights are on, but nobody's home, if you know what I mean. So I'm not going to make this intro too long. Let's just get right into the video.
Unless I read wrong, you have the Make America Great Again.
Yeah, I do.
I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
It's funny. Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where
the birth of America.
Point in America where America wasn't great.
On murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country. No country in the world. No countries in Africa, no countries in Europe. You can name it. Everybody started at a certain point, and it became greater over time.
Answer my question.
Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. If it hasn't been, then where do we get all of our freedoms from? Why are we able to do the things we're able to do? Have policies in place that give funding to those who have less. Why do we have the things in this world, at least in the American world that we live in, that other countries don't have? There's countries out there that legit just cannot have the freedoms we have. They can't have the freedom of religion to serve whatever God that they want. They can't drive whatever car they want. Some women can't work. Women don't have rights. They don't have say-so. Some people still have to answer to a king and queen. But I tell you, these liberals are something else, man. We have so much freedom in the United States of America, but people just overlook it and undermine the legit freedoms that we do have as American citizens. Just because it's not a perfect utopia, our society is not 100% solid, bulletproof. People lose sight of the fact that we are the greatest country when it comes to freedom to do whatever we please. But I digress. Let's just continue the video.
You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist. Show me somewhere else that's as diverse as America. Anywhere.
Diverse?
That's as diverse.
What does diversity mean if
opportunities for all people? Show me another country that give opportunities for all people like America.
Do you think we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as black people?
Yeah, 100%.
With a 200-year economic head start on us and no
what's
reparations.
Stopping you now? Aren't you at this university?
Yeah.
You're at the university just like all these white people.
Mm-hmm.
How's that any different? Can't you?
I want you to go two blocks that way and tell me where they at.
You can read. You can go to class.
Mm-hmm.
You can make good grades.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that you're making straight A's.
Mm-hmm.
How is America stopping you from doing that? And how is it stopping you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How's America stopping you from doing that?
Why is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
Let's go back to the foundation.
Do you think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they
No, I agree.
Do you think they burned down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they? Why are you not selling drugs right now? Because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. You have an opportunity to go to a university, get an education, and make yourself better and make your family better in the next few generations.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's stopping us from doing that. I'm sitting on campus right now, and all these people are listening to me.
You know what's
stopping me?
Money.
In America, what's stopping you from making money in America?
What the is not stopping us from making money?
You go to the same university as all these white people. How you got a different?
Exactly.
You said what? Excuse me?
We're in debt.
That's
our
your fault.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Okay,
We were never given boots to begin with.
Let's start with this. I actually went and graduated from a university. So I'm not a guy that didn't go to college. I had a full scholarship, so I didn't pay for school my undergrad.
Why you gotta be
Graduate school, I paid for out of my pocket. I did not get a loan. I mean, I did not have to get loan forgiveness or nothing like that. I had $11,000 worth of debt and I paid it. How is that different than anybody else out here?
Because everybody doesn't have the same opportunity.
I'm black though. How did I pay my loan off and you can't? Or
where you from?
I'm from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School.
Fort Worth,
right
Texas.
In the hood and stop 6. Right in the hood and stop 6. How did I get to this point if America's against me?
Did everybody in your neighborhood get to that point?
Well, different choices. There's a lot of people in my neighborhood that made it out because they made better choices. I could have sold drugs. I didn't. Why? Because I wanted something better out of my life.
What do you say about the disproportionate wealth? Is that okay? Does that not matter?
It's about culture. How much money do you save?
I don't know. I'm in debt, bro.
You in debt. How much do you invest?
I don't know.
How did you get into debt? Who chose to come here?
Me.
But that's you laid it out. God. Now, when you come here, for every college student here, this should be an investment into your future.
Right.
Anybody that know anything about making money knows that you have to invest to get to the next step. You may be in debt. Money. You may be in debt to make an investment to get to the next step. So if you do this properly, this is a debt investment to make more money in the future. If you come here and clown around and take a major that won't put you anywhere, then you just got into debt for no doggone reason. It's a cultural thing. Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach something. You got a college, you can get a college education. When you have children.
Let me put me completely back on the screen for this one. If you guys would just be quiet and listen and observe, then you might learn something. Everybody wants to be taught and given knowledge and given the keys, but nobody wants to sit down and observe and listen and actually take notes. They just want to say, oh, well, here you go. Everybody wants a handout. Take yours. Here's your handout. Here's a free pass. Skate on through life. The simple fact is, some people have it better, some people don't. But in America, we all have a choice. And that's the thing about it. We have the freedom of choice in America. Pipe down, calm down, take notes, look, listen, and observe. I think J. Cole said it best in one of his songs. He said, some people walking and then some people roller skating in life. I can't remember the exact lyrics to it, but it falls along those lines. Some people roller skate, some people have it easier, and there's some people that have to walk. But I promise I'm not going to pause it for a little while, but I just had to get that off my chest because Buddy just don't want to just listen or gain the understanding or knowledge. He wants someone to just cop out and say, you know what, you're right. You don't have the same opportunity, which is that's not the case. We all have the freedom of choice, which gives us opportunity. So let's continue.
So basically, help yourselves. We know you have this 200-year head start.
That doesn't matter, bro. You don't have nothing to do with it. You don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh,
you don't have nothing to do with that.
I thought you said one at a time.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't have nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth? My people don't own anything.
Where you come
nothing.
From?
How can you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from Stop 6.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What does comparison mean?
What does
comparison mean when the statistics say that we are behind?
We are not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. He's not behind. He's not behind. She's not behind. Do I want to go point out
on a college campus? You're on a college campus.
It depends on what you do with what you have presented to you. You were born in wherever you were born at. Look at you now. What's the difference between you and other people that didn't choose?
Opportunity.
How did you get an opportunity that other people didn't? You were in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for it.
My parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who have no anything. They have to go out there. They have no other choice. They have a horrible education. Do you know what the education system is like here? It's horrible.
Okay, so let's explain it like this. I wanna make sure we talking at the same level.
Right.
So in America, every single person has an opportunity to do something with what they have in their hand.
And we have nothing in our
Look,
hands.
let me
That's
say
the
this.
point.
Let me say this. I believe wholeheartedly that God gives you a hand of cards to play. Hear me out.
God gives you
Hear me out. God gives you a hand of cards to play. Not everybody's hand is the same. What you can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here. That's the hand you've been dealt. Everybody don't have a freaking silver spoon in their mouth. America is the only place.
They proportionately.
Who is they?
Everybody else, man.
Everybody else, like who? Are you saying white people? Brother, you in the same situation as all these white people, and you playing the victim.
Am I?
You at the same university?
Am I? What does the same university have to do with anything?
You go to the same.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. At first, when his voice got high pitched like that, I thought he was about to cry for a second. I wouldn't be surprised if he did start crying. I hope he's not going to, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I thought he was about to start crying when his voice got all the way up here singing like Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying? The old Mariah Carey, not the nowadays Mariah Carey. But I digress. Let's continue.
I had a 4.3 GPA in high school. I did what I was supposed to hit. I did what I was supposed to do.
What's your GPA now?
3.6.
Brother, what's holding you back then?
That's the point. Everybody doesn't have a 3.6. Everybody is
Do you just get a 3.6 because you woke up one day? You studied, didn't you?
Right. No, I actually didn't.
You didn't study.
No.
So then you have a gift that you can go and make a 3-point something and don't even study.
Right.
Brother, I mean, I don't know. I think we're wasting our time talking to each other. The bottom line is that if you study, you work hard, you play.
9 times out of 10, if you're talking to a liberal / Democrat or a lefty, whatever you want to call them, it's like talking to a wall. You make no progress. Sometimes that's just how it is.
Play the cards that you're dealt properly, you will be successful. This country makes more millionaires than anywhere in the world. You can talk. Oprah Winfrey came from nothing. Tyler Perry came from nothing. I mean, you go down a list. Brother.
Why are you naming rich black people?
Because these are the people.
Why are you naming
what
rich
about me?
Black people?
All right, me.
You talking about me and you. I'm talking about everybody in the surrounding, everybody outside of this bubble.
Listen, man, you're a product of your decision making. You're an example that you can come from nothing and come to a university. A product
of your decision making when the majority
you
of
came
others
from
are
nothing
a
and you're at
product
the
of their
university.
environment.
What are we saying? You came from nothing, you're at the university. How about you go and teach other young men like you that grew up where you grew up how to do what you did to get here? Period. What's the problem in that? Well, come to the mic, please. Can you come to the mic?
He want me off the mic.
No, it doesn't matter about recording. Can you come to the mic so we can hear your question, please?
Come on. We
no, it's so we can get the audio in.
We can double team the mic.
Just ask the question, and I'll try to answer your question. Hold on 1 second. What's your question?
How does everyone have an opportunity when systematically the U.S. has multiple inequities within?
What inequities? Can you explain one? Wait, inequities in education. What does that mean? Do you consider yourself a minority? Is the country against you? But it's not. You're here. You did what you're supposed to do to get here. That's what it's about. Individuality. If you do what you need to do, you'll be here.
You, as in everybody on this campus.
Listen, some people grow up in a terrible environment. Can we agree? Some people in that terrible environment make positive decisions to get out of that environment. Some people it takes longer in life to do that. Like and that's not a black thing. It's an everybody thing. There's poor white people in this country too. Do you not forget that? Most people on food stamps are white. Most people incarcerated are white.
Most people in the country are white.
Most people get.
My mother is white, and we grew up poor, welfare, Section 8. But that falls back to the choices she has made in her life that put her and her family, us, in that predicament and situation of living.
Killed by police are white.
Most everybody in this country is white.
So what I'm saying,
what does
what
that
I'm saying
statistic
is
have to do with anything?
that if poverty was just relegated to black people, it would only be black
You
people that
talking
are
on a
poor.
script.
All right, come on. Next person.
Hey, look, man, you see what happens, when you're proving points to people and giving them facts about life that they just don't want to accept. It's like talking to a wall. You make no progress, you get nothing back. You just get vibrations bouncing around, but you get nothing back. He didn't want to hear it, he didn't want to accept the truth. As you can see early in the video, he was already defensive. As I said before, my mother was a white woman. We grew up poor. Her mother and her father were at a point in their life when my mom was a little girl that they struggled immensely, having to work 2 and 3 jobs, and my grandfather being in the military, still struggling, having to get another job to make ends meet. Just because of the color of your skin does not mean you are awarded less opportunity. We all have a choice. We have drugs in our community. We have the choice not to go sell it. We have a choice not to be users of the drugs. There's guns in our community. We have the option and choice not to go pick that gun up and go commit murder or attempted murder or to go harm somebody with it. I'm not saying I'm against guns because I'm not. We have that right with our amendment to keep a firearm, which I wholeheartedly believe in. But we have choices and options as an American society. Is our country and society perfect or a utopia in any way? Far from it. Absolutely far from it. But name me one place that is perfect. Name me one utopia in the world, and then we could have another conversation. But until then, baby, this is all you get. This is the best you can get. Now, it's old saying, but you can't please everybody. And unfortunately, he's just not pleased. He's not very well pleased. And he's also not accepting and willing to take in information that is opposing his information that he was indoctrinated with and that he had retained from God knows where, whether it be Instagram or just social media, the news outlets, the mainstream news outlets. Hope he finds truth and peace and understanding. These people are so sadly misled. The Bible says if we have ears to hear and eyes to see, we'll gain that understanding. We'll be able to see through the lies and through the indoctrination that's pushed upon us and the agenda that's obviously everywhere in our face daily. So, for those of us who have eyes to see and ears to hear, if you know, you know, unfortunately. But as always, I have some scripture to fall back on, man. Now, this scripture that I had just pulled up is pertaining to how God and government intertwine, how coming across a land, a nation that we overtake, it is biblical that land is specifically given to or inherited to a specific people for a reason. Nothing happens for no reason. Now, the United States of America wasn't always the United States of America, but it is now the United States for a reason. And for the glorious reason is that we have the freedom to do as we please and to worship our God freely, which is a beautiful thing. So it says here in Deuteronomy 20, verse 9 in the Old Testament, it says, "And so it shall be, when the officers have finished speaking to the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When you go near a city to fight against it, then proclaim an offer of peace to it. And it shall be that if they accept your offer of peace and open to you, then all the people who are found in it shall be placed under tribute to you and serve you. Now, if the city will not make peace with you but makes war against you, then you shall besiege it. And when the Lord your God delivers it into your hands, you shall strike every male in it with the edge of the sword, but the woman and the little ones, the livestock, and all that is in the city, all its spoil, you shall plunder for yourself, and you shall eat the enemy's plunder, which the Lord your God gives you. America is here for a reason. God has blessed us and granted us this land, this nation, for a reason. We have one of the greatest militaries, if not the greatest military in the world. We have some of the most diverse people in the world. Why do you think people from third world countries, and just not even third world countries, but other countries around the world, want to come to America? Land of the free, home of the brave, land of the free. We are free and called the free land and free country for a reason. Why does everyone want to come here? To chase the American dream of freedom and choice. Even I have my own background history. Growing up, I've made mistakes that I'm not proud of. I've done things that I shouldn't have. I had a choice. I had the choice not to get arrested by doing the things that I've done. I had a choice to follow Christ as a teenager when I first got baptized. But I chose to do the opposite because I gave into my flesh, because I seen what was going on in the world. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to sometimes fit in. I wanted to do certain things that didn't align with Christ, that God did not have planned for me. But did I have the same opportunity as everyone else? Absolutely. It might not have been the same exact way, but I had the same opportunity, and we all have the same choice. We have the same 24 hours in a day, and we all have the same choice to make decisions. If we're not being forced to do anything, then we have decisions and choices. And it's up to you whether you go left or you go right. No one else can make you do that. Before I found God, I was not a great person. Far from it. I used to smoke marijuana. I've done everything a teenager has done or a college kid has done. Well, as you can see, my social battery is dying. It's getting late for me. I'm tired. This is the end of this video, man. I love you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in again. I hope I see you on the next one. I'll be praying for you guys. God bless you. See you.